Today guys, we're going to be taking a look at the Strider 22 pistol, and we're going to be taking this thing up against Patient 13, but there's a bit of a catch. This is possibly one of the worst guns here in Black Ops 6 Zombies. Out of my morbid curiosity, I figured I would see how this thing would handle taking on Patient 13 solo, and we did end up having a few snags here and there, but ultimately we ended up getting the job done. My thought was, by doing this today, is that if I could defeat Patient 13 with this Strider 22 pistol, then I think we could pretty much defeat Patient 13 with almost any gun in the game. With that, welcome on back to the channel, everybody. If y'all don't know, I'm Ghost. I appreciate everybody that stops by the video today. If you're into zombies content or anything that's Call of Duty, consider rocking the hell out of that like button for me and subscribing to the channel, guys. We just hit 25,000 subscribers and I cannot thank you guys enough for all the crazy support. To tell you guys the truth, I was honestly really surprised that we were able to get this thing done. We do have some tips and tricks that'll make it a little bit easier on you guys. This was one hell of a run that we had here, and I can't wait to get into everything with you guys after a real brief word from today's sponsor. If you guys are looking to unlock any of those mastery camos here in Black Ops 6 Zombies, including Abyss, Nebula, and Dark Matter, be sure to check out Mitch Cactus. They offer the most reliable services for Call of Duty, including bot lobbies, camos, or pre-made accounts. Whatever it is that you may need and just don't have the time to grind out, the Mitch Cactus definitely has you covered, and with all the positive reviews on Trustpilot, you guys should definitely check them out. Be sure to take advantage and use code REALG for 5% off your entire order for a limited time only. Now, immediately when I started this fight here on phase 1, I knew I was kind of in trouble. The damage that we were doing to Patient 13 was almost non-existent. Now, if I would have had Napalm Burst on, we would have been able to get through this phase a little bit faster, but even then still, almost every gun in the game would have been damaging him a little bit faster than this. Not only did I think that this was just going to be something fun to do to kind of challenge myself, but I figured if I could get this fight done with this pistol, we could go ahead and start doing it with all of the other weapons in the game, and then I can put together that video of defeating Patient 13 with every weapon in Black Ops 6. And no, it won't be the entirety of every single fight. That video would be like 20 hours long. I think a nice compilation of the ending of the boss fight with each gun would be something cool to see. Now, the thing with using this Strider 22 against Patient 13 is that not only will you be not doing very much damage to the boss himself, but you got all these other zombies and bosses that are walking around. This thing does not do very good with them either. Now, even with having a legendary rarity and triple packed, it was taking quite a few shots to take down these armored zombies. I won't lie, this pistol doesn't do too terrible when it comes to taking down manglers. As long as you can knock off their helmet, just consistently keep hitting those headshots, then you should be able to delete the manglers pretty fast. We did also craft up 2 Casimirs before we came in here. I figured those would be pretty useful for that third phase just before he ends up popping up. We can throw out these and easily get rid of those amalgams and all those zombies and manglers that are all built up. Yes, more will definitely spawn in, but it'll give you a little bit of a breather. As you guys can see, we did end up making it up to round 35 before we ended up coming in here to this boss fight, and the pistol, you know, it really wasn't killing zombies as fast as I would have liked. It was still killing them. Now, I was switching back and forth to the beam smasher a little bit here and there. For the majority, I tried to completely just stick to using the pistol. Especially in here at the boss fight, we didn't shoot at the boss at all with the beam smasher. It was 100% with the Strider 22. I did in between phases use the beam smasher to clear out the zombies that were chasing me around the arena. With only using the Strider 22 to damage Patient 13, it took me just over 20 minutes to complete this fight. That's practically doubling the time that it takes me on an average to kill Patient 13 with most of the guns in this game. Found that my average times to defeat Patient 13 solo is usually somewhere between 7 to 11 minutes. It really just depends on the gun that I'm using at the time, or if the chopper gunner that I'm using, if I'm actually able to use the entirety of the streak. My timing does usually fall somewhere in there, and when it's taken me just over 20 minutes, like doubling my time, I would say these pistols are pretty damn bad. I also figured that this would be something unique to do instead of just the average, you know, oh, this weapon's broken, this weapon's OP. Just kind of break away from the norm today and do something just a little bit different. If you guys do want something fun and kind of OP to use, you should check out the video that I ended up uploading yesterday. I ended up taking on Patient 13 with the PU-21 LMG with a crossbar, and I gotta admit, guys, I was really surprised with that loadout. That one was actually recommended to me by a subscriber, because I'm not really the biggest fan of LMGs in this game, but with the crossbar, I gotta admit, the thing was really fun to use and just becomes an absolute laser. If you guys do have any suggestions or any weapons that you would like me to try or loadouts, please go ahead and leave them down in the comments section. I'm definitely open for trying new things. Hell, some of the best videos here on the channel have came from suggestions from the community. Now, this second phase here with Patient 13, I gotta admit, went a little bit faster than the first phase. Now, I do know that he is weak to Deadwire during the second phase, and we had cryo freeze on. It definitely seemed like we were able to get through the second phase a lot faster than the first phase, so I'm not sure, maybe he's weak to cryo as well. Somebody can let me know down in the comments section if he's weak to other elementals during these phases. Now, the third phase was when I started getting a little bit scared, because not only did we end up taking a down down during this phase. I kept getting stuck in the water and being chased by, you know, the gas, and that just definitely was not fun. I was taking a lot of damage, and each time that I was trying to climb back up to the surface, there was just a lot of zombies that were ready to greet me. Luckily, we did have a chopper gunner for this phase to get rid of the majority of his health. I will recommend, if you are going to use the chopper gunner, make sure that you're behind one of the big boxes in the back of the arena, so that way when he does do his charge attack, it won't actually knock you out of the chopper gunner, and you can actually use the entirety of your streak. It kind of sucks when it gets cut short. Not only that, if you are just standing on the platform, the blast can actually knock you all the way back into the gas and actually end up knocking you down, and that kind of sucks as well. You'll notice also during this third phase, I kind of favor hanging out towards the back of him instead of being in the front. If you're in the front, not only there's several things that can actually end up taking you down. Number one, he does stick out his tongue, and if you get caught by the tongue and if you don't shoot him in time, that will be just an automatic game over. Plus, he does slam the ground just like he does during the other phases, so you really don't want to get caught in front of him when he's doing that either. Then we got the charge up attack that he does during this third phase as well, so I mean, just being up front is not very fun. We can still damage those blue glowing eyes from the back, be it they be a little bit harder to hit, but we can definitely still do it. You just gotta aim and up a little bit to the side. Now, if you do end up fully taking some of the eyes out, you will only be able to damage him from one side, so keep that in mind as well. If you have damaged the eyes enough, he will actually show the red glowing weak spot like he had during the first phase. If you see that, definitely just start shooting the hell out of that thing, because that's going to be what's going to take him down the fastest. Well, some of the zombies will still follow you behind Patient 13, but definitely not as many as will be in front of him. I find it a bit easier to just kind of jump off into the water whenever you get a little bit overwhelmed or he's about to do that blast attack. As you can see here, this was where I ended up taking mine down, and I started getting a little bit scared here. I thought I was going to fail, and I didn't want to come back through and do this all over again. Luckily, we were able to pull through. I mean, look at just the sliver of health that he's got left and how long that it actually took me to get that health gone. It was honestly kind of a bit ridiculous. If anything, man, I would say Treyarch needs to buff up these pistols a little bit. I mean, besides the GS45, most of these pistols feel kind of garbage, I'm not gonna lie. I know that Patient 13 can definitely be difficult, especially for solo players, but I guarantee you guys, if you do this a couple of times, once you defeat him once or twice, it'll pretty much almost be like riding a bike. As long as you can make the proper movements to not go down and you bring in plenty of points to keep stocking up on ammo, you can really take down this boss with almost anything. I really wouldn't advise trying to like swing your baseball bat at him or anything like that. If it fires either bullets, rockets, or shells, I would definitely say it's possible to come in here and defeat Patient 13, as long as you got the proper strategies down and you bring in some of the good stuff like a chopper gunner to get you through that third phase. You might eventually actually find yourself carrying your friends through Easter eggs and stuff, which is also pretty damn fun. You're the last one up, constantly just reviving everybody, and you clutch this boss kill at the very end. I mean, it's honestly a great feeling. Hopefully that'll actually inspire them to become better at zombies, and then maybe they'll come in here and attempt to solo Patient 13. I actually had a few buddies this year that could barely even get through Liberty Falls on directed mode, and that have actually been hitting me up like, bro, I've actually completed the Easter egg by myself, and I'm just like, that's awesome. That's so cool to see and hear. I love that people that wouldn't have even thought of touching zombies before is actually giving it a shot this year. That's great. I really hope that the zombies community just keeps growing, and hopefully zombies becomes more and more of an important mode for Call of Duty and for Activision. Hopefully they get more funding and everything. We will actually get a consistent zombie mode in Call of Duty every single year instead of having that lull where we gotta actually wait for something. There it is, guys. We defeated Patient 13 with quite possibly one of the very worst guns here in Black Ops 6 Zombies. If you guys can think of a worse gun that you'd like to see me take up against Patient 13, please let me know down in the comments section. God knows who's gonna want this, but we're gonna toss up the loadout up on the screen right here for anybody that wants to check it out. Please do me the biggest favor in the world and drop a huge like on the video if you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if anybody is new. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next one.